What's up, everybody? Jordan from Team PCD. Who am I here with, and what'd you do?
This is KP from Team PCD. I made day 2. After day 1, I was 12th, but then on day 2, I lost 3 straight, so I got out. But I was a VIP duelist, so I had 2 buys. I got to play in the VIP area. It was really chill. I think if I won my last game, I would have bubbled in, like barely got in, top 64, but came real close. But shout out to Dante, he made it. We had 4 guys we came together with. 3 of them made day 2, and then 1 made top 16. So it was a good run no matter what. But I played kind of an interesting deck, so we decided to go ahead and do a deck profile. So I'll get into it.
Let's see it.
So I played 60 cards. Every time my opponents were shocked. Even Jesse Cotton was like, "Are you gonna activate grass against me?" So like it was kind of funny, but they'd always ask how many's in my deck. But hand traps, 3 Valor, 3 Ash, 3 Fualos, 2 Bestial, 2 different Bestial names, but 2 of the Druid Worm over the Baldrake. The guys were already going to do 2 instead of Baldrake, but since I'm playing 60, it makes even more sense to not play 3 names. 3 Nib, 3 Imperm. The guys all cut Nib for Metal Tronus, but in my deck, Nib and another part of my deck is an OTK going second, so we'll go to that in a minute. I didn't get to resolve it that often, but like I had the ability to, but they had like interruptions. So, but it's good in my deck to play Nib. I've played 3 different engines in my deck. First, I play Ryzeal, and I play 3, 2, 1, 1. This is like the exact amount that I need for my deck. And since I'm playing, I cut it down a little bit so I can play room for hand traps and non-engine. 1 of the cross and 3 bonfires. That's it for that engine. My second engine, I'm playing Mitsurugi. So 1 and 2. And in this particular deck, I'm only playing 1 of each, and you'll see why a little bit later, but this is the minimum I need to do everything. After you resolve the ritual spell for like the 2 effects, you don't really need to use these anymore, and you can recycle them with the quick play. I did play the Serpent. A lot of people cut it because it's a brick, but I'm playing 60, so it's not that big of a deal. And if you don't have this in your deck, it's harder to bridge into the Ryzeal lines. With just the ritual spell, you can bridge into Ryzeal with having that in your deck. 3 of the ritual spell, 3 of the quick play. I didn't main the trap since I play hand traps. A lot of Mitsurugi players kind of all agree that if you play hand traps, you don't need to have the trap game 1, especially since half the time you're going to be probably going second. So that's it for that package. The next engine I'm playing is Mikanko. This is what makes my deck pretty spicy. If I have access to Ohime and a Nib, they're dead. Like, just going second, they're dead. Because I can get 2 Mikankos out, but if like the Nib is like over 8k, it's just attack, and it's over. If it's over 4k, get 2 Mikankos out, attack, it's over. And then going first, it adds more interruptions. It makes it harder for them to break the board. Another reason why I play the Mikankos is Huli becomes a towers while there's an equip on the field. None of the Mikankos can be targeted, even the equip spells, and it can't be short with battle or card effects, and you take the battle damage. Pure Ryzeal, their only out is an Exiton, so if you stop Exiton, they literally can't do anything. You just attack them repeatedly until it's over. Mitsurugi, same thing, like their only out is Exiton, so they have 3,200 attack and 3,400 defense bodies. You just attack them per game. I had one guy that cleared his own board just so that I couldn't attack it anymore. He had 400 life, and he used everything, made an SP, banished itself, and passed, and then I just summoned a monster attacked. So the Mikankos are pretty busted. Fiendsmith Ryzeal, they have another out with their fusion being able to negate the board, but what I usually do is when they make the Link 2 and summon the fusion, we have a trap card, Spirit Walk. I can target their monster and equip it to my guy, and it also burns a 500 for each equip spell. So usually it's minimum, they burn for 1,000, but now I have their fusion monster, so now they can't out it.
Sick.
For the spells, these are mainly used for summoning Ohime. The quick play, once it's sent to the graveyard, you can later you can banish it. You can do it the same turn, but you can banish to dump any of your Mikanko cards, and that's kind of how you get the extra bodies on board. And then I play 4 equips. This one is removal. The DD Caesar cannot negate this. So this is a way to bounce it and summon a Mikanko from your deck. This is like a reborn, and I can also summon in the same effect. I can summon a monster to my opponent's field from their grave and negate their effects. So I can bring back a guy and crash into it to kill him. And then this is like a monster reborn that I can keep doing every turn, except for the monster that's reborn gets banished when it leaves the field, but I have more Mikanko names, so I can keep looping it. And then this one's a Snatch Steal. I also play a trap on my side that can activate it from deck. To bridge the engines together, I play Manju. This is one of the best cards in my deck. Most people, if they knew better, they should have negated this every time. There's so many times where I won the duel and they're like, if I just ash that, would I have won? And it's like, probably. It's a level 4, so you can still do all your Ryzeal plays, but you can either add any ritual spell or monster. So you can add Mitsurugi if you want Mitsurugi, you can add Ohime, you can add the Mikanko ritual spell. So like this bridges all the engines together, but also so does the Nadir Servant and Maximus. So I have all these ways to bridge. So it's kind of like playing like 9 Ohimes or extra copies of the ritual spells for Mitsurugi or the monsters, whatever. So that's how the deck all works. There's so many times that like I summon this, and even if they interrupted it, then I'll go Ryzeal X and just do full Ryzeal combo.
Busted. 60 cards.
And also that's why I didn't play 3 Saji. This is a 60 cards. This is a better normal summon than Saji because you can add either or.
Y'all heard it here, the spies. Better normal summon than Saji.
Yeah. Tokens.
God, yes.
Okay, so for fusions, these 2 mainly for Slayer as well as Nadir Servant and Maximus targets. For synchros, play these 2. This can be made multiple ways because this is a light level 4. So with the Bestial, it's light and dark. Or also Ohime is a light 6, and then with the Mitsurugi level 4 dark. So you have multiple ways to make this. For the XEs, just generic ones that you need to play in this deck. This is for combos with the Mitsurugi cards, and then that's staple. Some people play 2, but my extra deck space is tight with Nadir, and I never had a second one come up. 2 Eclipse, it's broken. For the Ryzeal, play a second Detonator in case you want to make this to where you can protect from Nib, and sometimes it also just comes up. Aggregator, of course. The one flex spot is you want 1 Link monster. You could play like the Tri-Brigade Link 5 if you want, or the Link 2 Fairjeet. I mean, there's a couple things you could play, but I decided on SP because in the OCG, what they like to do on follow-up turns is they'll hard make an Eclipse and then link it away for SP and do like Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, or Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, and they'll summon back their Detonator and banish a card, and if they respond, then they banish another card, so it's kind of a cool little loop. And in this deck, if you wanted to, you could bring back the King of the Pharaoh Lamps and add a ritual, so there's different cool things you can do with it. The SP I think was fine. Fairjeet, it's like you might draw into a better card and shuffle back a brick, or you might not. So I just thought this would be more reliable over a long event. Sure. And I think it did its job. Side deck, 3 of the Numal Charmy, 3 Lancia, mainly for Malice, but this is also good against the Fiendsmith deck. One thing I can play in my deck, this is really broken with Rivalry. So if my opponent activates a spell card and I have this on the board, I can activate to target a monster on the field and equip from deck to it. So I can chain to equip this, and then now it negates that spell effect. So I can negate like Book of Eclipse or just Slayer, anything broken. So that's pretty good. For the rest of the spells, I play 3 Slayer. Since I have so many targets for Maximus and Nadir, it's already solid to play it, but it's also just a good card. For the traps, I played quite a few. So I played, this is my second trap target for Mikanko, and then the negate trap for Mitsurugi for when I go first. And I also decided to play 3 of the Virus. The reasoning why is it seems like the best like board breakers or like the hard hitters going second are spells. So you just see their hand and rip spells. Also, this isn't once per turn, so technically you could resolve it twice to call spells, and like, let's say they engrave or add the spell, you can do it again. But the main reason is you look at their hand and all they're going to have is probably monsters, and then you summon your big Mitsurugi and Regeki their board. So it's like the monsters you can deal with. It's the spells that are going to give you a hard time, especially against like Malice. They play a lot of good spells usually. But that's pretty much it for the deck profile.
Cool, man. Well, dude, congratulations on making day 2. Any shout outs?
Shout out Team PCD, shout out to Jordan behind the camera, shout out to Dante, made top 16, shout out to Clay, shout out to everybody back home that didn't get to come and that were supporting us. Shout out to my wife Brooke, of course. She's always supporting me and playing the game or whatever I want to do. I think that's pretty. Oh, shout out to Ryan. Ryan was testing with us a lot and giving us good texts and always like keep us in loop of anything new going on in the game.
Cool, man. Well, congratulations, dude. We'll see you in the next one, man.
Thank you.